Well, I said I'd do it, so I did. I had to make sure. I had to make sure you heard. I had to make sure you heard that gloriousness. This is the finest opening song in any Metroid game. Hands down. Hands down, just peak fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. So, hey, welcome back. We're going to jump into Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This is hands down my favorite Metroid game. The only game that comes even slightly close to this is Metroid 2. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the sequel that, just the sequel or the next game in line that always makes me feel better. Always captures my love so completely. But this is my favorite. It does so many things right. It does so many cool and interesting things, and it's just such a fun, incredible experience. Um, I'm gonna try and do it right and do it justice. Try and present it in its best light. But as I am not just blanking on the right word there. As much as I would love to present it in only good light, I can't be as corrupt as a corporate reviewer. So we're going to talk about the problems when I come to them, when I come across things that I feel are problems, or are big old negatives and whatnot. And yeah, that's the whole of it. I'm going to play this. I'm going to tell you everything I like about it. I'm going to tell you why I like everything that I like about it. I'm going to tell you everything I don't like about it. I'm going to tell you why I don't like everything I don't like about it. And it's going to be hour-long vids, same as pretty much everything else I'm going to do on this channel. And we're going to go deep into it. We're going to talk about the lore. We're going to talk about the things, the things in the lore that are cool and the things in the lore that are dumb. We're going to have, I'm going to have a good time, and I hope that, I hope you can too. It's a weird thing for me to say. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into it. Stop jamming out to the single greatest Metroid opening theme that has ever been crafted. Oh, this part's so good though. Oh, fills my soul with joy. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, I forgot. All right, I have actually I've played this before many times. Obviously as a kid, but I was playing this. I think I was playing this last year. I played it most of the way through last year. And because I had already played it on my Wii, like a year before that, or a few months before that, and gone through it, I had, no, I think it was a year before that. I had just jumped into 3, but yeah. Let's jump in. Mission file 02546. 8 days ago, contact with Galactic Federation Trooper Squad Bravo was lost. Contract agreement. Locate Federation troopers and render assistance. Data confirmation. Last transmission received from a rogue planet located in the Dasha region called Aether. Or Ether, depending on your pronunciation. Uploading last known coordinates now. check that out. I understand what that means, but it is incredibly beautiful visual. Sorry, I have nothing to say. I get so lost in it. I genuinely do love this game. It is just so good. All right. Return to your ship, save your game, and recharge your energy. No mandatory demo section to introduce you to the game. However, there's the rest of all this. Well, let's hop into the ship first, shall we? Oh, nice. We started with space. I forgot that. All right. Excellent. Now, let's get to scanning. A new research entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Starship Hunter Class Gunship. Vessel registered to Samasaran. Your ship has been damaged. Auto repair function initiated. You can return to your ship to recharge your energy, reload your weapons, and save progress in the game. Press start for logbook, which I think is this. Your Hunter Class gunship is one of a kind. Its distinct hull lines marking it to friend and foe alike. Custom built for you by the Federated? That's weird. Shipyards at... how do you say that? Elias 3? It contains a mobile energy recharge system and microfactories designed to produce ammunition. A sophisticated onboard computer stores mission data collected in the field for future reference. Neat. Let's get out of the menu. Object scan complete. Statue houses a power grid, a motivator unit, and an energy projection array. All systems are offline due to age or structural damage. What's this? Object scan complete. Statue's motivator unit is functional but requires power to operate. The power beam can't energize the statue. Seek an alternate energy source. Alright, run that by me again. Motivator unit is functional but requires power to operate, and it doesn't use the right energy source. Yeah, okay. I'm on the lookout for things that I would think are dumb. As of yet, totally fine. Scan complete. This is a powered door system. Low-level energy shield on the door to prevent activation by local creatures. Weapon fire of any type will disrupt the shield and open the door. Now, I'm going to have to do what I do every time I start one of these games, or at least I try to make sure that I do something like it every time that I do one of these things. That would be, not this. Is it advisors? Hint system. No. Mucho preach. Alright. Bioscan complete. Durable plant form adapted to low light environment. The presence of a plant container suggests that it was placed here for decoration, possibly by local sentients. Unable to interface with the door control system, cannot translate alien text. To access door controls, you will need to update your translator files. But don't worry, we can waste a lot of time talking with some stooge, and I'm never gonna stop bringing this up. We waste a lot of time talking with some stooge who's just gonna magically understand everything because you gave him like a chat log you had or something. I know it was the translation files, but like, shove it. That's it. Just shove it. That's it. I'm still so angry about that freaking game. That is... That's specifically doing that very loud so I can sync up... Hold on. Yeah, sync up a shot with a click in the audio file so that I know what, so that I know, so I can sync up the visual and the audio, because I do these things separately. Whoop. Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match splinter. Source of termination inhalation of industrial grade pesticide. Toxic elements still present in local atmosphere. Hey, a recognition that all air is not breathable. Or all chemicals in the air are not, like something you can breathe in. And, something that maybe you don't just take off your helmet on a strange alien planet for. Sounds like a smart thing, doesn't it? To care about your personal health. I'm never gonna let any of these things from Prime 4 go. They're all bad. Anyways. Maintain suit lockdown for effective life support. Right there. In plain text. Keep your head on, keep your helmet on, keep your suit locked for effective life support. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to remember that you're not in a play performing for people. You're a character in a show, and they have to exercise general, self-preservation. There's a train coming, but for real. Take a minute while the train is passing. If you look closely, you can see the beet red color of my head. That is the sunburn I was talking about yesterday. Absolutely nightmarish. If you're bald, wear a hat. If you think you're going to be outside for more than a few minutes. Sorry, if you're bald and you're of a specific skin color, naturally, wear a hat outside. Or sunscreen. This is never fun. Object scan complete. Device is part of a ventilation system. Really gonna get louder right as I start. Device is part of a ventilation system. Converted to dispense pesticide. System is still active. Pesticide supply at 13% and dropping. Object scan complete. Object is composed of a nutrient-grade biomatter, protected by thick exobarrier and tensile webbing. Possible source of nourishment for local bioforms. It's a food source. What do we got? Object scan complete. Armor plating engaged. Lock unit cannot be damaged while armor is inactive. A new research entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Mechanism, Mark IV Gate Armor Defense System. This gate is used with armored security locks. The locks must be neutralized for the gate to operate. The gate is durable, resistant to all but the most potent explosives. Hint that you'll need power bombs later. This gate is used with armored security locks, which must be neutralized to operate the gate. Gate is resistant to all but the most potent explosives. Unfortunately, the logbook description is exactly the same as the normal description, making it kind of goofy. Can I scan that? Can I scan that? Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match. Splinter. Bioscan indicates creature was hit by an unusual amount of weapon fire, more than necessary to kill it. Marines are not prone to such overkill. It's gonna be difficult to audio balance this episode because I don't know if I have to straight up yell or if I can just talk normally, and then because when I'm adjusting the game volume, it's easy to deal with because you know, I can turn down the game volume, I can turn up my volume. But if I turn up the volume here, I'm gonna have to like isolate this section, I think, because I can't just turn up the volume, because then you get blasted with, you know, hundreds of thousands of tons of, you know, fast-moving steel in the background. I'm gonna have to like isolate the section and possibly just tone the whole video around that bit. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I know that because I'm farther from my recording device phone, that I'm speaking quieter, and so I have to turn up the volume on myself and turn down the volume on the game, because the game is recording louder with the software I'm using. So, lock armor disengaged. Destroy locks to activate the gate. Gate will remain open once activated. Scan those. Fresh scan. Object scan complete. This is an armored security lock. Lock armor disengaged. Unable to bypass lock security systems. Destroy lock to advance. Ain't it nice? Alright. Let's get through it. We'll stop scanning every little detail, but I'm still going to scan a bit. Object scan complete. This is a converted cargo pod gate. This gate was once part of a starship cargo bay. It has been modified for security purposes. It will move when a nearby panel is scanned, and that would be that. Security panel online. Gate control system restored. Moving gate to open position. Oh, by the way, once again... Oh, my bad. I did not mean to fire that missile. Once again, second game. You know what they didn't do? They didn't introduce before you were allowed to do that. They saw what they did in the last game, and they thought, let's not artificially restrict the player and restrain the player's capacity, because that's not a problem. That right there is not a problem. What they did, though, is they restricted this. So, you win some, you lose some. But that's an understandable lose some thing, right? You do kind of... you do kind of change the nature of the game if you can rapid fire missiles. I'm still torn on that. I still like the idea of being able to rapid fire missiles, and I think you should balance the game around it instead of like taking it away. I can't yield on it. I can't. I'm fundamentally opposed to taking it out. Communication system offline. Analysis indicates wiring damage in 3 crucial areas. Local hostiles are likely source of damage. Unable to repair system. All right, let's get moving, schmoving. Security gate report. All gates remain intact. Several gates have taken considerable damage from hostile forces. Repeated assaults may lead to a gate breach in chambers A and C. Ventilation system conversion complete. Dispensing of pesticide has commenced. Pesticide is proving effective. Hostile forces decreasing in number, though still at critical levels. My bad. Sometimes my brain just be putting words in the wrong places. Casualty reports, Sector A. 3 troopers lost. They were unable to open Gate A1 when a gas trap was engaged and could not escape to safety. Lock malfunction is to blame. I don't know why they were opening the steak sauce, but okay. Object scan complete. It's a Galactic Federation crate. Storage crates are yada yada. I don't really feel like waste a whole bunch of time the crate scan. I just want it like in the system. Yep, heavy galactic, and it does big thing. Map station. Step into the hologram to update map data. And this is a neat little change, you know. Beep. Boop, boop. Map data acquired. You've downloaded the map for this area. Press Z to access the map. When you're finished, press Z again to resume play. Neat. Alright, so that's where we landed, and that's a door we can't get up to over there. That's where we were. We can't get through that door, and this is where we're going now. To the left, and there. I think. Object scan complete. Object contains a large quantity of acidic fluid. Fluids may be used by indigenous bioforms for digestive purposes. Shell is vulnerable to weapons fire. Ooh, scary. Not really. They pop in one hit. Okay, this is actually kind of important because... Yeah, oh. Excuse me. Yeah, this is basically the game explaining, you know, you have to use the R button. I thought it was the L button before. I messed up, definitely. Okay. But you have to use the R button to do what I'm doing here because it wasn't natively in the OG. Because twin-stick shooters weren't popular enough on especially Nintendo consoles to have, you know, a uniform control scheme. Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match. Standard human. Scans indicate this trooper died of cardiac arrest. Chemical levels in body suggest a state of extreme fear at time of death. And you? Terminated bioform scan complete. Codex genome match. Standard human. Source of fatal wounds. Galactic Federation assault weapon. Trooper was, in all likelihood, killed by friendly fire. Whether it was an accident or whether or not remains to be seen. Scans detect extremely high levels of an unknown toxin in target's body. Numerous micropunctures in armor and body trace elements of toxin around these areas. Neat. Also, here's a fun bit, right? I gotta close the door again. But if you notice, when, like in Prime 1, in both versions of Prime 1, when you fire near a door and hit the door light just kind of fades out. In this one, they added a neat little graphic to, you know, make it look like the door is opening from the direct input of your weapon. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. A nice, neat little detail. A new lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps Personnel Log Entry GSGTC Benet. Data transferred to your logbook for further review, which we will read right now. There's something wrong with the lock systems in this section. They failed twice, locking us out until someone came along to let us in. If it happens again while we're playing bait for those things, well, at least we'll go out fighting instead of hiding in the control area. Alright, get out of that. And yes, they're all southern because I said so. Security breach multiple areas, all units to full alert. Command and control center compromised. Repel invading hostiles at all costs. All units cleared to engage. Oh, yeah, I didn't scan those things. Come on, stop. Ah. Morphology, worker splinter drone of the Splinter Hive. Low threat target generates webbing for use in its duties. And then it eats you! New lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps Personal Log Entry SPCB Reeves. I don't like this plan. This hive is a small portion of a larger network. There may be dozens of hive systems like this across the planet, and they may all be linked. Destroying this one may buy us time, but it may also provoke the other hives into attacking. It's actually really fun to do that. Fun to act that out. Security panel offline, unable to access gate controls, restore power to the system to operate it. And as the game says, press X to use Morph Ball. Missiles. Man, no missiles. Hello. 0 life signs. Trooper armor computer heavily damaged, unable to recover log entries. Recently terminated. Enemy movement analysis complete. Attempts to block enemy access have been in vain. Enemy units have bypassed our gates and shields by burrowing through the earth nearby. Ah, dang it. Hit that. Wonderful, we got those missiles. Nope, already scanned him. Or I scanned something reminiscent of him. And we start this game with Boost Ball. Let's go! It bothers me that you were actively putting those things up there. Putting those bodies up there. Engineering status log, Dr. Senga reporting. I've installed one of the ship's reserve power cells here. It's holding oh, sorry, let me start it from the beginning because I didn't realize that was, yeah. Engineering status log, Dr. Senga D. Senga reporting. I've installed one of the ship's reserve power cells here. It's holding so far, but too much activity could knock it offline. I hope we don't come to that. Terminated bioform scan. Splinters. Source determination. Blunt trauma to critical areas. Evidence suggests these bioforms eliminated in close combat by unarmed troopers. Yawning. Splinter. Terminated a variety of trooper weapons. Unknown biochemical residue present on several exoskeletons. Further research recommended is... New research entry logbook. Added to your logbook leg. Device bomb slot, powered by system control unit. Insert the morph ball into the slot, then detonate the bombs. Will transfer the energy from the slot to the device connected to it. And I'm not going to go to the menu for that because there were plenty of these in the last game. So it needs not explanation. Whoa! Power restored to gate system. Oh no! No, scan them. Excuse me. A new creature's entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Morphology. Dark Trooper. Deceased. I almost called him deceased girlfriend soldiers. Morphology. Dark Trooper. Deceased Galactic Federation Trooper Soldier. Bioscans indicate terminated life signs in this trooper and the presence of an unknown biomass. Alright, let's take that one. Bioscans indicate terminated life signs in this trooper and the presence of an unknown biomass with parasitic tendencies. Though the trooper's armor has been compromised, the bulk of it remains intact. Weapon systems remain online as well. Full parasitic fusion has yet to be obtained, resulting in low agility and response time. Okay, get out of that. Music's actually kind of loud. I'm gonna have to turn this down a bit. I think that's okay. I don't want it to be too quiet, but I don't want it to be too loud. For myself. It's going to be uniform volume on the recording. Oh, no. They may have reduced agility, but I've got reduced intelligence. Alright. Well, that went well. Door system access denied. Unable to bypass security codes. Seek alternate exit. Security panel online. Gate control system restored. Interesting. Okay. How many normal shots? Quite a few. So let's just charge shot. The fun part about the OG is that if you catch it when if you catch a charge shot when it starts to activate, you get the full charge shot blast without actually having to wait for the full animation. They took that out in 4, which is why charge shots are so frustrating. Because you are as handicapped as the developers could possibly make you. All right. Remember the elevator from the beginning of Prime Remastered? This is that kind of scene. Who could this Samus-looking individual in a dark suit be? Going into a purple bottle? Dear God. Well, let's scan a few things before we just, dive in there. Bioscan complete. Unknown bioform. 0 life signs. Evidence suggests target was caught in a power cell explosion. Cellular breakdown from radiation exposure present in 72% of the target's biomass. Must have been a painful death. Bioscan complete. Unknown bioform. 0 life signs. Cause of death: cardiac arrest due to electrocution. Subject was ensnared in a network of live wires leading from an active power. Oh my god. That's brutal. Can I scan that without having to get to it yet? Gate system malfunction. Units offline. Gate will not move from the current position. Scan complete. Unknown dimensional anomaly. Anomaly seems to be a dimensional rift. Target destination unknown. Notice that there's an absence of an over-explanation of a dimensional rift, right? They don't overstay their welcome. Woof. Oh dear. Oh no. That's not good. That's a lot of phase on. You moved around. You turned around real quick there. That's not good. That's not good. Oh no. Stay back! Stay back! Oh! Oh! Not like this! It's kind of goofy that Sama shoots directly up instead of at any of her aggressors, but... Oh no! What am I gonna do? Well, at least I still have my power-ups. Right? Chozo Battlesuit version SA1446A, blah blah blah. Gear stolen. Space jump gone. Grapple beam gone. Morph ball boost gone. Power bombs gone. I had power bombs? Missile launcher gone. Morph ball gone, or bomb gone. Everything else is fine though. They didn't take various suit or morph ball, so that's neat. It would be a little goofy if you think about it to lose morph ball. I guess it wouldn't, but it'd certainly be a little too typical, I guess. Excuse me. No, I guess it wouldn't. Because in so many Metroid games, you just don't have Morph Ball. Anyways. Getting in the weeds there. Object analysis complete. Tunnel cap is composed of telluric alloy. Combat damage has destabilized the cap considerably. Oh man, you know what I could not do is Morph Ball bomb it. At least they didn't take charge, right? Oh, they took missiles too. Oh no. That's rough. Oh, right, I should... Nope, I've already scanned all the necessary information from individuals in this room. Let's go. Scanning. Power's on. That's just what it was. Now let's go ahead and scan this. Elevator platform active. Sit back while I wait. Look at that. So red. Ugh. Power relays connected. Elevator unit online. Elevator. Did I say elevator or elevator? Unable to interface with door control system. Cannot translate alien text. To access door controls, you will need to upload your translator files. Lock armor disengaged. Destroy locks to activate the gate. Gate will remain active until remain open once activated. Neato. Wow. Scan visor is useful in gathering information. Yes. Yes, it is. Object scan complete. This is a heavy transport crate. Unit cannot be destroyed. Currently connected to industrial winch system for movement. I'm just going to scan these boxes because they're... Wait, they're a different kind of box. Secure crate made of the strongest metals in the cosmos. That's a haughty claim. They cannot be destroyed. So, don't waste your time trying to break them, player. We have made indestructible, visible walls. Alright, well, let's keep going anyways. Control system online, industrial winch engaged. Simple instructions, right? You don't have some guy popping in on your radio and telling you about his day and then deciding to tell you about the chore. Or just telling you about the chore at all because there's no reason for him to, be saying anything to you at all. New research entry has been downloaded. Morphology splinter cocoon protective structure for sleeping splinters. Destroying the structure will eliminate the splinter inside, but will also alert other splinters nearby. And it doesn't matter because sometimes the splinters just pop out regardless. Unable to interface with door control, yada yada. This is a new research entry, Mechanism Mark II Bridge Portable Bridge System. This bridge is durable, but often locks in place, leading the Marines to call for a new design. What? Even the Marines are frustrated with this tech. This bridge is durable, but often locks in place, leading the Marines to call for a new design. The Mark II should enter service within the next 8 cycles. 8 galactic years. That's brutal. Bridge lock armor disengaged. That's really funny. They actually really did make a good bit of use of pressing the R button to aim. Which, of course, you don't get because I'm using an advanced control scheme. Using advanced technology that we didn't have at the time. But it's certainly appreciable that they did so much with, that. New lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps Personnel Logo PFCM Veroni. Data transferred to your logbook for further review. Let's review it. I think Haley's losing it. He talks to himself all the time, and he won't sleep. He almost shot me on watch the other night. I think he thought I was one of them things. Yeah, I talked to the dog about taking him off the line, and he told me we need all the help we can get. That's true, but if he goes berserk and kills a bunch of us, that won't be very helpful now, will it? Can you tell I'm having fun doing that bit? Alright, that's... Yep, more crystal door. Oh! Cinema. Temple grounds. Well, hello there. How close do I have to... Okay. This is a heavy transport crate. Unit is currently locked in place. Control panel nearby. Scan this to lower crate. Winch system receiving power. Control system active. Unit is in need of maintenance. Several systems are borderline critical. Further operations may lead to system failure. By the way... let me pop that. Okay, by the way, the song... This song for the Temple Grounds area... Choice. Now, there's so many songs in this game that are peak. There's only one song that frustrates me, and it is exactly the same thing that frustrated me in Prime 1. To my knowledge, there's one song There might be more, but there are few and far between. In this game, there's one song that's reused, and that is, I believe, the Meridia theme from Super Metroid. And it goes on in the Lower Torvis bog. And that's the only thing that I find a genuine fault with the game, because again, they have this song. Listen to that. It's not even the best part. That's just a good part. I didn't know that could happen. I didn't know about the sky effect. I've never sat in an area long enough for that. Anyways, yeah, fantastic music, which is why Lower Torvis Bog is such a disappointment. I think it's Lower Torvis Bog. I can't remember the exact location, but that's why that one section is such a disappointment, because there's so many good original songs they did that it's just I don't have missiles. There's so many good songs they did that it's just frustrating to know that's a rehash of Meridia. Again, good rehash, good song in general. Meridia was never a bad theme. I just would prefer if all the music was OG. Original, not OG. There's a difference. It says there's a blast shield on the door blocking access. Analysis indicates that it's invulnerable to most weapons except missiles. Alright, let's get to it. First off, rear. Okay, extra rear. Okay, good. Control system online, industrial winch. Let's say disengaged or engaged? Doesn't matter. Oh no! The machine broke! The terror! What am I gonna do? To quote Carlos, one of the finest salesmen of our time, what am I gonna do? We're gonna do that. Has been detached from your winch system. Winch connector destroyed its structural... Winch connector destroyed structural integrity at 99.6%. That's a funny detail. Oh, that's gonna lock down on me, isn't it? Mechanism Mark 7 gate defense gate, durable Federation barrier. Gate is composed of denzium, invulnerable to most weapons, though high-yield explosives are effective. Power bomb door. Who's that? Structural analysis complete. Block contains denzium. Local creatures have weakened it along with time and erosion. Time and erosion, not erosion. Sorry. Thinking of how to pronounce words in other languages. Learning another language really does mess up your ability to pronounce words in English. Gate security protocol initiated. You're cleared to proceed. Some gates will remain locked down to prevent future incursions by hostile forces. Oh no! Well, at least we got one door open, right? 2 for 1. What can I say? It's a fantastic special. Oh well, we're trapped. We're trapped! We're never getting out of here. We're trapped. What if I made all the Galactic Federation troopers? It's Italian Americans. It'd be funny. Galactic Federation Marine Corps personnel log entry PFCL Bruda. Data transfer to your logbook for further review. We are going to stick with Southern, but We'll be making our stand here. The engineer tells me there's no way we'll get the ship's engines online, and atmospheric interference is scrambling our distress beacon. If anyone reads this, know that we did our duty and fought well. What you got? Comm system activated. Initiating automatic distress signal. Automated adjusting transmitter for optimum performance. Transmission has failed due to atmospheric influence. But now hold on. You don't have to do any of this. And I would advise, in fact, that you don't. You hold the phone. Okay. Object scan complete. Biostructure has been compromised by burrowing predators. Tunnel leads to control area. Mechanism Mark 7 defense gate. Durable Federation barrier. An interface module is used to operate this gate. Scan the interface module nearby to activate the gate system. Unable to scan target, local interference, blocking scan visor. Recommend scanning object from close range to counter the interference. Not close enough. Get around the barrier, doofus. Alright. Hello there. New lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps Personnel Log Entry SPCM ANGSEF. Data transferred to your logbook or further review. This is ridiculous. How can I shoot half the men here and I'm stuck on monitor duty? I ain't showing up to stare at a hollow screen. This wouldn't happen at Samus Aran. She'd say she'd be out there taking care of business, not pushing buttons and sending reports. A new creature's entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Mechanism, the Growler class turret. Automated defense system, lightly armored gun used for point defense. Fast targets can evade its tracking system. Lightly armored gun. My bad. Unless I said that right. The JM42 Growler class turret is a data design, though still quite effective, as a point defense system. It is lightly armored and fast-moving targets can evade its tracking system. Several copies of the system exist, including the Space Pirate Humility class automated turret. That's a way to, like, add a little flesh to some previous things you've seen before. And, again, not over-explain the bit. I may be forced to go back through for like, clarity. Just in an endless loop of playing the Prime series and commenting on it. Power restored to gate unit. Control circuit malfunction. Gate may operate in an erratic fashion. Yeesh. Well, the good news is we made it through the door. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. A new research entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Starship GFS Tier, Anur class patrol ship. Used to transport Galactic Federation Marines, vessel has sustained heavy combat damage. The Anur class is a state-of-the-art warship designed to police and defend planetary systems. This ship, the GFS Tier, has been heavily damaged. It appears that the crew have dismantled parts of the Tier as well, possibly for use as makeshift defense systems. And here comes our special guest, great-great-grandson of, let me make sure I'm hearing this right. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, I was under the impression we were getting another visit from Thomas the Tank Engine's descendant, Thomas. Oh, we are. We are. It's just slower than I thought. This is like the worst time to get like a This is the worst time to get a blasted, yeah. Data cycle, final report, Jim. Task force. We'll read it later. While on patrol in the Dasha system, we engaged an unknown space pirate frigate. The enemy frigate was crippled and crashed into the planet Aether. We followed the pirates, but our ship was damaged by a storm as we entered Aether's atmosphere. Heavy magnetic activity during the storm and disabled our communications. Upon landing, we split into 2 units, one to set up an ops base and the other to do something else I couldn't read. Each unit was doing fine, no problems. Until they appeared. Anybody hear something weird? Oh, dear God. Frank, you seeing this? Yeah, I know. We gotta get rid of it. Well, that guy had the generic American accent. This honestly is this is one of my favorite scenes. Not because of seeing a bunch of Galactic Federation troopers like get got, but because it's one of very few scenes where you actually see the Galactic Federation troopers in action. And you might be like, well, you can get plenty more of it now in Prime 4. Yeah, I can if I want to see a bunch of children in Galactic Federation uniforms, fight things. But I prefer to see men in uniform fight against alien creatures. Right? Or Samus being, the singular woman who can look good in uniform. That really is an unfair statement. Yeah, unless it's Samus, I don't really. That's not a good sentence to follow through with either. It's just not what I mean at all. But yeah, these were men, and they died doing what they do best, fighting for their lives. Unfortunately, they died. Oh, wheel. Alright, let's scan him. New lore downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps personnel log entry. Captain A. Exeter. Data transferred to your logbook for further review. I'm beginning to think it was a real bad idea going down here. Reeves is right. That hive is just one of many, and it's stupid to stir a hornet's nest. Especially if he's planning on sleeping under it. Object analysis complete. Galactic Federation data terminal is inactive. Memory core damaged. Unable to restore access. Seek individual log entries in trooper armor suit systems. Ugh. Galactic Federation Marine Corps personnel log entry LC Lieutenant Corporal, I think. J. Brody. Data transferred to your logbook. And for some reason now I'm burping a bajillion times. Man, I hope this is the only breeding ground for these things. If there's more, we're in big trouble. We had a hard enough time taking that one out of commission. I almost ran out of ammo. I never run out of ammo. I like this dude. Object analysis complete. Ordnance crate tactical data suggests presence of personal weapon system within the crate. Use of heavy force required to eliminate the crate. Heavy force, I don't believe I have. I do, actually. Missile launcher. Missile launcher acquired. Press Y to fire, press A to switch back into beams. Missiles can destroy some blast shields on doors. Additional data downloaded to inventory screen. Press start to access the inventory screen. You wait. New lore entry has been downloaded. Galactic Federation Marine Corps personal log entry. Private First Class, G. Haley. Data transfer to your review logbook for further review. I hear them everywhere. They're coming. Can't sleep. Ever. They'll eat me. 8. I do actually have quite a bit of fun with that. Alrighty, hold the phone. All of you stop that. I'm out of missiles. And now I have missiles. Alright, banging. Let's keep going. New lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps personnel log entry Private First Class S. Milligan. Data transferred to your logbook first for further review. Brutal lost the bet, so he switched to watch duty with me. I figure this section is nice and safe and boring, which suits me just fine. Let those other pugs guard the hot zone. Hold on! Hey! Oh! No! Hey! I'm gonna scream in my room. It's late in the day. New lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps personnel log entry. Man, I can't guess what SPC means, right? Some of those seemed like they made sense, but I don't know what SPC means. Sergeant Petty? No? Man, I couldn't tell you. F triplet. Let's go. Sarge says those splinters remind him of some killer bug he saw on another planet once. All I know is that things are fast and take a lot to drop. Pretty soon we'll have to go to bayonets. Everyone's low on ammo. Even Brody. And he's the stingiest grunt I know. Unable to interface with door control system. Can't get the data, whatever. Lieutenant Commander T. Huxley, medical officer? No, probably not. Who knows? I mean, probably not what that means. SPC M. Angseth Comms, L. CPL, J. Brody, BFCP, Willis Tick, Sergeant E. What would SPC mean? Because Sergeant is clearly Sergeant, right? Mons, First Trooper, Reeves, Science, Triplet Gunner. What is SPC? Man, I just can't. Nothing's coming to mind. Gunnery Sergeant? Now I'm questioning what are actual ranks. Dang it. Benet, First Trooper, Senga, Engineer, Vonda, Trooper. Stop worrying about the ranks. Got Gripple, Dominguez, and Haley. Got First Lieutenant Smith. You really didn't have to get really special with Smith. Milligan, Dennis, and McCullough. You got Bruta, Veroni, and Craney. Alright. And this... Doors to open position. Yes, do, in fact, open the position. We're gonna have to find a save spot soon. Because we're at time. And it's late. Oh, you've downloaded the map for this area. Press Z to access the map when you're finished. Press Z again to resume play. Actually, I think I have like a 2-minute time spot. No, I don't. Never mind. Anyways. Alright, so we got the missile door that I gotta pop open. We got a power bomb door. I know it's a power bomb door because it's yellow. We got these. And we got that. And none of the other things matter. Okay, this is Captain Exeter and Commander Starling, the pilot. What was that? Analysis complete. Object appears to be a damaged piece of powered art. Holo projectors are offline. Combat damage appears final. Repairs are unlikely. A new lore entry has been downloaded to your logbook. Galactic Federation Marine Corps Personnel Log Entry PFC1 Craney. Let's find out what he said. Last night at Chow, Angza starts talking about some bounty hunter and how she blew up a planet full of space pirates. I told her I didn't believe in fairy tales like that. I didn't realize there were women on the crew there. Neat. I told her I didn't believe in fairy tales like that, and she took it personal. I just found it hard to believe that one person took out an entire space pirate base, that's all. But if she wants to believe in this Samus or Bigfoot or Santa Claus, she can. Notice how... Notice how not every Federation trooper treats her like, I was about to say not every Federation trooper treats her like Jesus, but I wanna lighten that load there. But notice how not every Federation trooper treats her like the Spartans treat them, or sorry, not the Spartans, like the characters treat the Master Chief in Halo 4. Notice how they don't treat Samus like she's some super pop rock star. This guy straight up believes that she's a myth. Like, Haley or whoever is like, yeah, well, Samus did all these really cool things, and I think it's really cool, and I'm a big fangirl of hers. And he's like, you can believe in fairy tales all you want, but personally, I'm gonna stay grounded, right? Because it makes more sense for them not to act like the two women I know of in Metroid outside of Samus, who for some reason fangirl over her. Now, admittedly, this one's better, because not only did I not have the indignity of suffering her constant presence, but also she probably was a normal human being and reacted more normally in situations where she might have met her heroes. But yeah, it's really good in this game that this guy is the exact opposite of the fangirl, because it proves my point of barely anybody should be treating Samus with this kind of attitude, because Samus is the equivalent of a contractor for the government, like a mercenary mercenary contractor where you go and do jobs for the government and then you get paid, right? They shouldn't be treated as some savior of the universe, because that's not what they are. They just do the job really well and cause a lot of problems for the Galactic Federation. If they know about Samus, they should be on edge around Samus because they know of the danger Samus has generally produced for the Galactic Federation, if they're overly loyal to the Galactic Federation. Otherwise, they could be like, yeah, Samus is actually pretty good at pointing out, flaws in the governance. However, she's a loose cannon who doesn't play by the rules, and we need to keep our eyes on her. They should have more reasonable takes, instead of everyone worshipping Samus, the legendary bounty hunter. Shove it. Anyways. Still saying shove it to that trash game. A new research entry downloaded. This is a kinetic orb cannon. It launches you. Power restored to kinetic orb cannon. Unit locked in place or something. I'll read the rest of it. There we go. Alright. Unit locked in current firing position. Auto-fire feature enabled. Now what? Cannot get up there. Alright. Woo! Bonk. Bonk. Well, wouldn't you know it? Red. And 2 boxes that pop out missiles. So that if you don't have missiles, you will in fact get some missiles. Who are you? That is Dennis. I'm the only one left. I'm the only one left. Managed to get out of the hive. When I got to the ship, everyone was gone. Dead. I'm heading for that alien building we saw earlier. Maybe someone can help me there. Wait. Something's moving down there. Hello? That was the last we ever heard of Dennis. Scans indicate presence of a control system. Interface method unknown. Control units not present in the visible spectrum or the current time space. What a neat and interesting way to tell me that without over-explaining it. Genuine appreciation here. Oh no! He got stung by very large wasps. And in this we know. Wasps be bitches. It's not true. That's not true. Paper wasps are kind of chill, depending on the circumstances. Like, I got stung a bit ago, and that was not a fun time. But until I got stung, it was a pretty chill wasp, and that sounds very typical, but but I've been around that wasp a while. Power restored to kinetic orb cannon. Unit locked in current firing position. Yada yada. I'm just gonna say yada yada when I'm reading like text I've already read before. You know, as we do. Funk. Okay. Yeah, syncing this video up tomorrow is gonna be like, it's gonna be a little rough because I have to wait so far into the video to actually get the syncing up. And I have to do it right. I have to do so much next episode. I really do. Like this episode. I have to do so much for this episode. Structural analysis complete. While section structurally unsound, explosive damage may cause it to awaken. Let's try it. Nice. Combat damage to wall is heavy. Structural integrity critical. A heavy impact may cause it to shatter. Possible another miss? No. Now the answer is not missiles. When previously the answer was missiles. I feel betrayed. Morphology destroyed war wasp hive, compromised insect dwelling. This hive has been heavily damaged. Only remnants of the cocoon shell remain. No, this. Nice. Can any of you drop missiles? Secondly... Oh, nothing is dropping missiles. Okay, there we go. Well, that is destroyed. Oh, they come from up there. They don't come from the land down under. They come from the land up above. Where's the interface panel, though? It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not like I can cheese it by jumping and looking. Aha! Power restored to kinetic orb cannon. Kathunk. Maximus. Alright, let's keep going. I get very sleepy. Tonight I should actually get some proper sleep, which of course is, because it's not consistent, it's only going to make me sleepier. Bioscan complete. Target has been dead for 8 years. Cycles. Trace amounts of unknown chemical present in target. It has an effect similar to mummification on dead biomatter. Further analysis required to determine chemicals' effect on living biomatter. So yeah, it says trace amounts of unknown chemical present. Has the effect of mummification on the dead. Again, not over-explaining the bit. You're just giving enough information to make these things sound plausible and allow for the suspension of disbelief. You're not trying to write pseudoscience and, you know, over-explain something you don't need to talk about. This is perfect. This is perfect. Genuinely, this is good stuff. What's so hard about this? Just give them enough. Not too much, not too little. Just enough to work. It's just one of those things where, like, I'm old enough that you get to that point where you start asking the Mugatu question. Is it Mugatu or Mugabu? I think it's Mugatu. It's from Zoolander 1, the bad guy. Anyways, it's just one of those things where after you live long enough, you start. It's Mugatu. It's got to be Mugatu. Anyways, you start asking the Mugatu question of it's like, am I taking crazy? Well, it's not the Mugatu question. He says, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. But you start saying that because it's just like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Everything's getting worse in a measurable manner. And I'm being told it's fine. Or this is peak. Or something, right? It's like, no. That was perfect. But slapping psychic on everything, over-explaining how you're gonna somehow, like, reverse the process of cells changing? Like, as in you're reversing time? Like, you're no. Anyways, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. And you get to the point where you're asking, am I taking crazy pills? And most of the time the answer's no. Hold on. Train coming. But you get to the point where you're like, you start asking. You don't start saying, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. You start actually asking, am I taking crazy pills? Because it doesn't feel like anything's getting better, and it feels like it's so few and far between. And it's because the standard was so high back in the day. The standards have gone so low. The fact that Prime 4 is the best we got after a nearly 10-year waiting cycle, two development cycles, Prime 4 is the best we got. And the most you can say about it is the gameplay's passable. Yeah, it's understandable to be like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Because, like, who wouldn't think that? Someone who digests it and, doesn't think about the taste. But, like, yeah. Alright, let's move on. I'm very close to a save station. Power relays connected. Elevator unit online. Step into the hologram to activate the elevator. I really like this elevator because it feels like an uncomfortably fast elevator. Right? This is the kind of elevator that if you didn't have a power suit like Samus's, which is, by virtue of the animation, obviously stabilizing the gravitational forces, even without gravity suit, right? It's obviously stabilizing the gravitational forces put on Samus as it rockets upward and slams to a halt. It's such an incredible, I really like it just because it seems like such a hostile thing. Like, because Samus should be like, when it boosts up, if you're like a normal person, that thing's gonna cause you to like crumple down. You're gonna be on your knees when it like does that. When you finally adjust, you're gonna be like, oh, that's pretty neat. And then when it stops, you're gonna be launched like 5 feet in the air and slam back down. Right? That's how it would be. I love it. I love it because it's such a threatening elevator. Such a class, or not a classy, a classless? No. It's such an aggressive elevator, right? You know this thing is moving her really fast. Anyways. All right. Bioscan complete. Target has been dead for 8.1 cycles, a little longer. Despite the presence of local animals, the target corpse has not been disturbed. Scans suggest the presence of a toxic biochemical within the target. This may explain the lack of carrion feeding, which we know that the unknown toxic biochemical has the effect of mummification on the dead, and so, though they may have died, they remain there. Multiple details given without over-explaining. Bioscan complete. Target has been dead for 8.1 cycles. Target size and muscle mass suggests heavy combat training. It's likely that it was a warrior of some kind. The lack of gear, armor, or weapons is curious. Perhaps they were taken by others of its kind. Deception. Disgrace. Evil as plain as the scar on his face. Active power system cables. Energy flow from prime generator to auxiliary system detected. Ah! Trying to scan you! All of you! Oh, you douche whibblers. Mechanical analysis complete. Device is part of a compromised security system. Only basic door systems remain online. And what is this? What is this? This is nothing. No, it's a save station. Yep. That is where we're going to call it. Don't worry, I will be doing more of this. This is one of my favorite games, my absolute favorite Metroid game. And I have a lot to praise it for, and a bit to critique it for, a bit to complain about it on. But it is the best. I love it. I love it. I think it's the best Metroid, but I'm willing to accept, the wrong opinions of others. All right. Now, of course, brain is telling me you didn't save, so we're gonna do it again. I know it's on the recording. There. Game has been saved. Energy fully replenished. I will be playing plenty more of this. This is my favorite Metroid Prime game. I think it's the best Metroid Prime game. I think it's the coolest Metroid Prime game. I think the technical systems it introduces and the way that it forces you to use the stuff in-game is unique, incredible, and fantastic. Much like most, this video game 2 games, it takes an old engine and uses it to greater effect than the original. I think there's nearly nothing that it does worse. And I'd be hard-pressed to say that there's something genuine and overt that I think would cause it to fall below just absolute adoration on my part. I think that's the wrong way to say that. Anyways, I think Prime 2 does everything Prime did 1, but better. It is the perfect example of a sequel that only does things better and is far more enjoyable than the OG. Much like Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time, I feel like it takes an old engine, expands on what you can do with that engine, and everything that is done in it is better overall. The end result is a higher quality product, but I'll get into that far more deeply over time. And while I won't have the words all written down in some neat, concise thing, I'm no Mauler. I'm not practiced enough at that kind of criticism. In that I most likely have no practice in that kind of criticism. I'm going to give, over time, through this playthrough, a lot of my reasons, if not all of my reasons, as to why I think this game is better in every conceivable way. So yeah, that's that. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces, but special PSA, if you're bald, you're going to be out in the sun a while, put on sunscreen or a hat. Don't be dumb like I am. The tree does not provide enough shade. Alright. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.